It is September 12th, 2025, and I just realized that it's almost seems as if, my dad reminded me that, like, today could be my mom's birthday. I don't think her birthday is today because today's September 12th, and I know my dad's birthday was on June 12th, so that's where I might be getting the 12th from. But I know my mom's birthday was in September, and I think it might have been September 22nd. And I think that might have been my mom's birthday. I'm not sure exactly what year it was in. Like, I could be guessing it could be 1949. But let's see, 49, 59. And then I was born in 62. That'll make her 12 years old. I think actually my mom was born in 1942. I think. It was 42, 52, 62. That'd be 20 years old. She had me. That'd be about right. Seems like it rings a bell. I think my mom was born. It might have been September 21st or September 22nd, 1942. I don't really know that for a fact, but that seems to be the recollection that I have, and it seems like my dad kind of just reminded me of that because I really wasn't thinking about my mom's birthday until I started thinking about my dad because I heard this guy talking about, I'm here to tell you, and that was like what my dad used to say. So, I was thinking about that, and then I was looking at here, look. Right? Alright. Okay, well, look here. Alright, look here. This one right here. This one right here. Look. Alright. And then we got that one right there. And we got that one right there. So, I'm just going to tell you, look. If you notice that the one that has the aliens has got 200,000 views, and it was put out 1 day ago. That was one of ours on with the picture of the guy that has big eyes and he's an alien. Because obviously he can see more. And he's got his hands on the world. But look, on the first one, that was also 1 day ago. That one has 39,000 views, as opposed to the one with alien, 200,000 views. And so that just goes to show you the interest that people have in one subject as opposed to another. And, should we be hiding from aliens? Look. Now, wait a minute. Hey. Should we be hiding from aliens? Which would presuppose that aliens are real, for one thing. Anyway, and how are you going to hide from something you can't see? So I don't know what that is even presupposing. Should we be hiding from aliens? Seems like aliens are hiding from us. Well, whatever it is, Some people say it's all a simulation. And see, now with what we know about quantum physics and everything, nothing is like in the Chronicles of Narnia, that professor telling the children, nothing could be more likely. Especially when you got proven, uncontested, self-evident The observer effect. Like things ain't even real until they're observed. Well, that operation right there would suggest that this is a simulation that we're living in right now. And if that is a fact, then, okay, that means there's a higher power. Okay, one thing. Some people kind of describe it like, are we just like, it's like having a headset on? Or what is this? Well, anyway, look, we got 200,000 views on answering questions about grabby aliens, qubits, and free will. But the header, should we be hiding from aliens? Well, 200,000 views. And the other one is also one day ago, shrinking the world, the story. This story could shake the monarchy. Shocking allegations. Epstein. Andrew is from the Royal Crown. Fergie. I think Fergie is also like English. I'm not sure. I think she is. I think she's one of the higher ups. Philip. Oh, yeah, okay. So all these, Andrew, Fergie, Philip, they're all part of the Royal Crown. And Trump. Yeah, that's what it says. One day ago. 39,000 views. Didn't get 200,000 views, though. Like the one about the aliens. Well, in between there, some happened 4 hours ago. They got 58,000 views. This is Bulwark. Look. Okay. Trump, Violence and Power with David Frum. F-R-U-M. And this is the Bulwark podcast. Okay, that guy with the ball cap on. See? Yeah. That guy with a ball cap on there, to the left, right next to a very young Donald Trump and a very young some other guy that I've seen his picture before, and I know both of those two pictures are when they were much younger. Okay, Donald Trump does not look like that anymore, and you never have a picture of him smiling for one thing. That's a rare find right there. Actually, it wouldn't be a bad picture if that wasn't actually Donald Trump. Because, I don't want to remember him that way. Because that is deception. I have a real hard time. I have a block and a hatred for deception. And I don't know what that means, if that means deception. To me, it seems like that's what that means, is deception. But look, if you look at the guy with the big eyes, well, I don't know, you get a little bit of deception in that picture too. Like, that person knows a lot more than you. He could deceive you, he could trick you. He's like the magician. He's got big eyes. And he don't have any hair. And he looks like a lizard. I'm just saying. But then you got the one guy on the right, the Martian's left or whatever. On the right, you look at far screen right above where and that lady's name in the background is Asha. And I think her last name is like Regapta or something like that. And this other guy, they both actually look kind of Indian to me, like from actual India. And their names might kind of be Indian too. I'm sure Asha is from India. Anyway, and then the other guy, Raj. No, that ain't him. I don't know, but Asha is a former FBI agent, and she's she teaches in a school, you know, for law students, or she teaches in a law class anyway, and she's a former agent, and so she's got some really down-to-earth experience and has to apply the law to it, to her profession. All right. And the other guy's a lawyer. I don't know if his name is Raj or what, but he's a lawyer, and he's not like a hometown lawyer. He's a lawyer for like the national kind of courts. That kind of lawyer. All right. Oh, they're both high up there in the know, and they have a broadcast called "It's Complicated." Right now they're talking about the Supreme Court, their decision that is kind of enigmatic. Don't really give a reason for it, and that puts a lot of the lower courts in, you know, scratching their heads about what the hell's going on here. I tell you, and I'm just saying, I don't even know actually why I wanted to actually do this one. This is September 12th, 2025. And it seemed to me that, you know, I come to the understanding that it was like, could be my mom's birthday today. But then I started thinking, no, it's not the 12th, because my dad's, I would have remembered it. I know my dad's is on the 12th, June 12th. And so if my mom's on September 12th, I would have made that understanding, recognition in a lasting kind of situation, and I got that mosquito. But the thing is, I think her birthday is like on, now I'm thinking it could be the 28th. At first I was thinking the 22nd, and then I thought the 21st, and now I'm thinking the 28th. So I'm not sure, but it is in September, I know that. Well, don't feel bad, you my grandchildren, since I don't know really when your birthdays are exactly. I know Adelaide's was sometime in June, same time my dogs were born, and also sometime around Father's Day. The rest of them I don't know. And I know my youngest boy Isaac, he's got a boy or a girl too. I don't know which. I know he's got a child now. And I'm pretty sure he's living in Colorado and, you know, teaching as a teacher in a school. I don't know what type of school or how high up. I think it's a college. Anyway, that's what the deal is. And, you know, I don't know. It's a significant time in this day of my journal because, you know, Charlie Kirk just got killed, assassinated. There's a lot of news behind that. A lot of telling news, because what they say kind of tells you, you know, where they're coming from and what their agenda is. Because a lot of people made up a lot of bullshit when they didn't know anything about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And I come to find out, after a lot of people like railed some like really hatred stuff toward it has to be from the Democrats. Really put it like that, man, at the Democrats. And then, you know, come to find out, Charlie Kirk got killed by what could have been described as a MAGA boy. Come from a Republican family, gun-toting, Second Amendment right, gun-toting, American, MAGA family, Republican, MAGA. All right, that's what the shooter. That's who the shooter was. So look, you know, some 9/11 Trade Center got bombed, completely demolished, and another building. I'm not sure which one it was. Been a long time ago now. Seems like 20 years. It don't seem that long, but I mean, you know, look. My kids, my first two, all three of my kids were little, very, very little. They were all born I don't think they knew what the hell was going on. I did, though. Like, I'm just saying, a lot of stuff has happened. Now, it's like, when I look at it, okay, I'm looking at it from 9/11 to Charlie Kirk, okay? And when I look at what the propaganda and stuff coming, in the stuff on the media that we get, I get it from the internet, okay? And I use YouTube. I mean, you can seem to get anything you want on YouTube, pretty much. So, it works. Don't seem like it's, shy. It gives you what people are actually doing, even if it is propaganda. Whatever it is. It's commercialized. They make money off the commercials. Or whatever. But, I just thinking that it's a special time. I mean, today's 9/12, and it just, in addition to, from the Trade Center to Charlie Kirk, I mean, and everything in between, and everything before that I know about. And after that I know about. So, I'm just saying. This is a treacherous time. But it could be a simulation. And that's what was the other thing, okay? But it does seem to me that my own father is kind of channeling in to me in some way or another. Or it could be my imagination, I understand that. That would be. But however and whatever it is, I'm your grandfather. He was your great grandpa. And I'm of the sophistication, now we got super intelligence. I'm not saying I have super intelligence, but it exists. And we have AI, artificial intelligence, and we got artificial general intelligence, and we got artificial super intelligent intelligence. But times are changing a little bit, Human beings have advanced a little bit along with these other kind of advancements. And that's why I'm just going to say, like my dad did, that I'm here to tell you. Because he was there to tell me, and I'm here to tell you. And that's what that is. Well, he would talk about, what's the authoritative word, He was pretty serious about stuff. And I don't know, it seems to be kind of like a tendency in human nature, and it's passed on through your parents. You can see how you have gotten certain traits from either your mom or your dad, or both in different kind of traits. One trait from one, another trait from the other. Or sometimes things like in dogs and everything, they skip a generation, but the gene is still in there. That's why you might get like a certain color of eyes, and like a certain color of eyes in dogs are usually associated with a certain kind of intelligence. So if they got certain color eyes, they got a certain kind of intelligence, and that's fact. It happens like that all the time. There's correlations and clues. See, they're kind of like clues if you study nature and stuff. But we got to study a lot of things, all the way from Sun Tzu and his laws, because that's what's going on right now in our politics. Deception, propaganda, spies. Who can you believe? If you're going to live your life, And so this is where my dad says, what is the authoritative word? And that's why I have said, to think, critically. And I explained how I did also, learn that from my father. And then I also learned it in life. You got to think critically. And what are you going to live your life for? I mean, would you be willing to die for anything? Does anything even matter? Well, you got to figure that kind of stuff out. I tend to swing on the side that things do matter. I don't think it's just a bunch of bullshit. Only one way or the other, however this goes. I believe in trying hard. Well, that's what I wanted to just say. If I was talking to you, my grandchildren, I would tell you to try hard. Try hard. Look, man, you don't know what it is. Could be a simulation, but it's still a try hard, man. Don't not try. Try hard. Don't not try. Try hard. All right, bye.